Today I'm going to show you how to install harnesses on the 2016 YXZ 1000 without wasting a bunch of your time. First off, you're going to need a couple specialty tools. Probably the most uncommon one to have is going to be this star bit. This is a T50. And the second thing is going to be a piece of flat bar steel, followed by a drill bits, and a grinder of some sort. This is because you're gonna have to probably make some custom brackets. I've already done my driver's seat, so today I'm gonna be showing you on the passenger seat, but it's pretty much a mirror image. There's a few things you gotta do on the driver's side you don't the passenger that I'll explain and talk you through. First thing you're gonna wanna do is remove this plastic panel here. You can see mine's already gone. Simply just grab it under the little lip that sits there and pick it out. After that, you've got one of these plastic screws that connects this piece, and you're just gonna pop that out and pop this up. You don't have to completely remove it, you just need to free it a little bit. Your first order of business is going to be to remove the bottom part of your seat. Just grab it by the front, pull up, and it comes right out. From there I'm going to take my T50 socket and I'm going to come to my seat belt right up here on the roll cage, and you're going to remove this upper piece. Pull the bolt out. Next thing we need to do is unmount the bottom part of the bracket. All you're going to need is a 10mm socket. There's a screw up here, and I'm gonna remove that. That allows me to pull this back just enough to get that nut out. I mean bolt. And after you successfully extract that bolt, feel free to go ahead and reassemble this panel. So when I pulled that bolt out, see it loosened up that bottom part. There is still this top part here connected. We're gonna do that in just a moment. Now take a 12mm socket and remove the 4 retaining bolts mounting in your seat bracket. These removed, you'll notice that the seat is completely free from the housing. So you're gonna take this strap, bring it on out of the seat, and you're gonna put it on the outside of this black piece here. The seatbelt will hold it in. If not, because it goes through them black bars. And now you're just gonna simply wiggle the seat out. Now you should only have one factory bolt holding in your seatbelt assembly, and it's going to be another one of the T50. And these can be pretty in there. Just going to back out this bolt. Now we're more or less going to go in a frenzy of removing plastic panels. We're going to start with this side retaining panel here. These are 10mm screws, bolts. And then the reason we removed this panel and this panel is so we can get to these plastic retainers. 1, 2, 3, 4. All you'll need for this is a flathead screwdriver and maybe a pick. See, these are just plastic threads going in to this little retainer. So sometimes you'll spin and spin and spin and it won't come out. This one is, once you get it out a little bit, you can kind of pull up. Use very light force on the screwdriver because this thing will just push back in, and then they just come out like that. Remove all 4 of these, and that pick is just to if I have to get behind it and help it release out. I've now got all of those plastic screws that I just talked to you about removed. Now that we've got all on the side panel done, except technically this one, we're gonna move on to the bottom panel. So with this panel, you're gonna have multiple plastic screws again. You're gonna have one here, 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 and I don't think there's one for this one on the driver's side. I could be wrong. One at the corner of each part of the back. I got all that done, and I hope you're ready to take more shit apart. Jesus, it is a heat wave in Eastern Kentucky. I'm dying out here. Let's bring back out that cool 10mm socket, and you're gonna go right here to your body panel. And there's also one right here on your door hinge. Your final remover is gonna be this Allen head, size 4 Allen, and let me highly recommend to not use your impact on this. Now, just like the center console, we're not actually removing this. We just need it to flex enough that we can kind of work around it. So there's a secret bolt hidden right here. It's another 10mm. It's directly behind that panel. Okay, so from my experience, usually that bolt won't even come out. You'll just kind of loosen it, and then it'll release this panel somewhat. You can feel it kind of gave way for these 2 panels. So now we're gonna start removing this shit. So the first thing you're gonna do, come under here to this panel. We're gonna lift it up. There we go. Seat supports. This ain't on the driver's side. Kind of weird. So one last thing before you start pulling these panels out. After you get this one pulled out and released, come over here to the side and enjoy 2 more plastic retaining clips. Now these retaining clips hold this on. Take the gas cap off. And then that's just kind of clipped in there because we removed that bolt, remember? And now you're just kind of trying to fight this bottom panel. Just be fairly gentle with it. You don't want to break a bunch of plastic parts. I'm gonna have to do this off camera, but just know I'm just gonna fight the panel just like you are and get it out. Okay, so I freed it beside the strap port. Besides the strap port. And I'm gonna pull it out of the machine and just let all the dirt get on the floor. Oh, not in the Crocs. So digging this out should reveal this bolt to you fellers, and this is the last one holding on that seat belt. This is gonna be another job for our favorite 18mm socket. And all you're gonna do from there is feed this back through the hole and remove the seat belt. You can take solace in knowing you are basically done with disassembly of the machine besides one bolt, and it's a bitch. Look down it, and at the bottom you'll find a 17mm bolt. Take that and remove this seat belt. Now let's discuss something right now. I'm assuming you do this, of course, after you get the bolt out. When you get the bolt out on the driver's side of this machine, there is going to be an electrical connection. All you gotta do, pop the connector loose, there's a little tab on it, you depress, probably with a pick, be easiest, and just kind of dig it out, be gentle. Then on the seat belt receptacle side, you are gonna cut the wire. So now what you're gonna have in your hand is electrical connection, bare wire. Strip the end of the wire on both sides, and then put a crimp connector between the two wires. You're making one big loop. Replug that into the machine. That will tell the machine that you have your seat belt on. All you're doing is connecting two contacts. That's all that thing looks for. You can also buy aftermarket, so you don't have to cut your original wire, and it's just a little plug that goes into the original harness and loops out the connection. Okay, so I had mentioned making certain brackets, so this is all I made it out of. 1.5 inch flat bar. I cut them into strips that are about, 2 3/8, and then I drilled 2 holes in them. This drill bit, you need a pretty big bit, center to center on the hole, roughly about 1.5 inches center to center for the holes. And then one of them you're gonna have to take like a bench grinder and just make into a very thin shape. So the first part I'm gonna install is gonna be thinner profile one. There's no shape in particular you gotta use, just get it close. Just make sure everything is tight. My arm pop, that's pretty good enough. Then you're gonna take your second plate, and then this is gonna go through. By the way, make sure you angle them just a little bit forward. This is where you're gonna need your own bolt and nut that I'm hoping you grabbed. So the bolt will go through, nut on, and that's what you're actually gonna bolt the physical harness onto the machine with. Okay, now with the bottom back bracketry on, I'm gonna take my harness, and I've divided mine up into 2 sides. I'm just gonna kind of set the pan in here. So you gotta feed this back down through your tray. Make sure there's no twist in your line. Feed it through this small slot here. And if you need to take a razor blade and widen it a little bit, definitely an option. I'm gonna go for the inside of this. Got a bolt, a washer, go through one, through the other one. This nut kind of has a built-in washer on it. Because for these, you're not gonna have a physical mount hole. You're just gonna wrap the strap around the roll bar. This mount point. That'll be for a different machine. So we're gonna go in, hold it right like that. And we're gonna put another bolt and washer on the bracket we just made. So I had to remove quite a big portion of the seat bracket here. I just did it with an angle grinder. And like I told you fellas, not a fun install with these machines. Not fun at all. See, all our holes are starting to line up. You can push that there, get the bolts in. This panel needs to go back in its little slot here. There we go. So now all I'm gonna do is go around and put every push pin in, every bolt on the sides here. And I'm just gonna put all the hardware you just watched me take out back in no particular order. Honestly, you can probably quit watching the video here if you want. Everything else is fairly self-explanatory, just wrapping stuff around your roll cage the best you can. I don't even know how I'm gonna do that yet, but that's pretty much the inside. I will catch back with you in a minute. So like I was saying earlier on, if you miss a clip, which I have, you can get these Pittsburgh body panel clips pretty cheap. Find one that's kind of close to OEM. It's a really good thing to have on hand before you do one of these projects. Just secure it right on up. Rubber footies in, we found. Get your finger. You're actually gonna put your seat back inside your machine. So be like that. It'll wrap right behind your head right there. But importantly, it'll go on the inside of this, so that's all fine. I'm sure you guys are getting excited if you're here. So, that really helps. I don't know if I got them bolts in straight, but at this point I don't care. Cross thread and redneck Loctite, y'all. Seat goes in. Locks in, and there's your front locker. And you're just gonna find a way to go in, thread this through. You can move the buckle out. I'm still gonna figure out what way works best for me. And I'm gonna throw my girlfriend in it and set off of her. That way the passenger side is set to her. And then I'm just gonna figure out a way to do my side, but I really haven't got that far yet, so look at this. I was completely dry when I walked outside. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the fast-paced nature of me, again, trying not to waste your time. And I'll see you in the next one, and ride safe.